Hey guys, welcome back to another episode breakdown on Clockwork Noodles. Back in the world of cosplay, the thing that is my other hobby, my big hobby next to things like YouTube. It's cosplay. This is my world, guys. Welcome to my world. I am Clockwork Noodles, aka Becca, the queen of the noodles and the rats. We are here for episode 4 of My Dress Up Darling, and it's a really good episode because it's a episode of two extremes. If you are not subscribed so far, make sure you are. That would be amazing. It'll make my day very, very happy. I'm very happy that we are slowly gathering some more noodlings. It makes me very, very excited to keep going, keep doing my thing. It just allows you guys to stay in a loop whenever new videos go up on the channel. With the channel, things tend to change seasonally, so every single new season, the release schedule will change. Being subscribed, if you are on Discord as well, getting that notification to your phone will allow you to stay in the loop and make sure you don't miss out on any of the cool breakdowns. The magic of these videos is they tend to go out straight after the video when you're most hyped and you've just watched the video yourself and your reactions are fresh. That's why I think these things can be quite cool. Seeing what someone else also thinks and having that hype train continue as you get hyped over something that happens in the episode itself. The start of the episode, more like a PDSA. I feel like the anime unawareingly has become a bit of a PDSA for the dangers of con crunch. And you guys remember, end of last episode, I did talk about con crunch and telling you guys, please, at all costs, avoid con crunch. Do not put yourself in this situation. It is horrible. It is stressful. You will make yourself sick. I know people who have made themselves sick who are working right up like an hour before the con even opened trying to get the costume done, and at the end of the day they didn't have a good time. They were tired, they were stressed, the costume wasn't to the standards they wanted. At the end of the day, when it comes to making cosplay or anything, allowing yourself plenty of time is going to be your best friend. Now this is the face that anybody who goes and looks at my eBay history, it's not my actual computer history I'm worried about, guys. I need you to delete my accounts if I accidentally perish by trucken. Please just delete my eBay account. Just do it. If you've ever had to make things like wings, appendages, so if you're making very big costumes, you end up having to buy a lot of harnesses and strapping, and well, you can guess what eBay occasionally likes to try and flog me off, like bondage and all that lot. The world of eBay is a tough one when you are a cosplayer because a lot of things that you need for undergarments, it's all going to be very borderline hentai, borderline going into things that eBay wants to start putting you into the non-safe section of the eBay zone. I appreciate this face, and this is the face as well. Just the sheer force of this guy having almost a heart attack thinking that either Gojo is cross-dressing or Gojo has a girlfriend finally. It puts the guy in hospital, oh my goodness, for 2 weeks, which is pretty convenient because that is also the gap that is the rundown to this supposed first con, the con that we think is the deadline, and it's not technically the deadline. It's a little bit convenient there. He gets relegated for a little bit. He's out of the story for a few weeks. The entire first chunk of this anime really is just more reasons. Please do not do the con crunch to yourself. If you're ever going to go to a con and you've never gone before, give yourself plenty of time. You will enjoy it more if you're aware of the way your costume works. I also tell people, prior to the con, make sure you've tried on the whole costume at least a few times, even for a few hours, if you're going to sit around in it, just see how comfortable it is, see where things hurt, because people don't realise that corsets dig in, those heels are going to dig, that shoulder attachment where you've got some armour, that's going to start digging into your arms. I had a friend who made some very tall Oiran shoes, and I'll try and put some examples of Oiran shoes up if you're not familiar. She made these, walked around in them, and she broke her toe. She actually broke her toe, wasn't aware that she had hairline fracture, and these shoes destroyed her. So you really need to get to know the costume you're wearing. My heart really went out for Gojo this week because he was risking sleep, his health, his exams, which is therefore his future, all because he just starts to panic and hyperfixate on trying to get this thing finished without talking to the person and say, you know, this is way too much, because obviously he tries to get it done and he doesn't want to disappoint. He just takes on too much. He's obviously got his own dreams as well. He still wants to do the Hina thing, and I don't think during his 2 weeks he had a chance to really do any doll making, which is sad because that at the end of the day is his dream. That's what he really wants to do. So I really hope that he's able to at least get back into it now that this costume's down. I can imagine, though, with costume fever being a thing, many cosplayers don't just stop at one cosplay. I can see her maybe wanting to do another character from the series or something. But poor Gojo takes on way too much, and he definitely needed to ask for help. He needed her help, even if she was just making food whilst he was doing all the work, because we see him barely eating and his apartment becomes a mess. She says, I can cook, I can clean. He could have basically had her helping. Take us into a small rabbit hole area now. It's not really a direct link to the anime itself, although it's a slight variant. It's a tangent that draws off from the anime. It's the rabbit hole of being a commissioner, being a creative, and people asking you to make and spend a lot of time on a piece or a commission for very little money. And I don't know if she's paying him, because I don't think she is. I think he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart. But at the end of the day, it's her costume. If she's not paying him, he really doesn't have an obligation to make himself sick like this. But it's a very real thing. A lot of us creatives end up dealing with very pesky customers who want a lot. They want the world for peanuts, and it's just not fair. As the quote Yojimbo from Final Fantasy X, you expect a phoenix for chicken feed. I love that quote. That's perfect. Please don't do this with your teeth. It's very bad for your teeth. I've also been told don't stick pins in your mouth when you're trying to pin things up. You could basically inhale one of them, and that could be a very painful trip to the hospital. Just get some scissors. I know he doesn't want to get scissors and he's stretched for time. Scissors will make this a lot neater. I have had to judge costumes before when there's trails of thread coming off seams, and it's like, just snip it. Make it look a little bit neater and a bit more trim. I do sadly have to call BS on him finishing an entire costume in one night. Especially that petticoat. There's a lot of meters of petticoat there. Sure, he has a sewing machine, but it's still gonna take a long time. He also does a lot of hand stitching on the headdress and pieces. I'm gonna call a little bit there. I love this anime to pieces, but that bit there, not accurate. What do we learn from this big PDSA? The importance of communication. Kudos to Marin, though, for actually realising that she was expecting way too much in such a short period of time. I do really have to give her hats off to her here, because she even says, I had no idea how long making clothes would actually take, and I decided to wait. That is such a mature decision. I have had a costume made before. I've had a few costumes made. I basically let them arrive when they're ready. I've got a costume on its way. It's a bikini version or a speech version of Gyo from Demon Slayer, because I love Gyo to bits. I'm making the props and all that lot because I like making the props, but I didn't really want to do any of the sewing on this one. I decided that I would get a cosplay company to do it, and that's still not here. That's going to be here in February, and I'm not fussed. I haven't really got any cons to go to, but I understand making these things takes time. Somebody get this guy a nap. Somebody get him a nice warm bed and just chill out, relax, don't do anything precious, because he tries to cheer her up, so she starts crying, and obviously he's the one who's then suddenly apologising. Everyone goes around in a circle of apologising to each other. That's why I like these guys. But he's so precious. He tries to cheer her up by going, why don't you try it on? You know, it's okay. And just the way that he brushes her hair, and she's like, I'm stop crying now. And she's got like the snot up her nose, and I like that, because whenever I cry, I give myself a headache, and I also do have a bit of a snotty nose, and I'm like, I can really appreciate Marin at this moment. At the end of the day, there is nothing more magical or heartbreaking as trying a costume on for the very first time to find out it's absolutely perfect and you can see yourself as that character you love, or seeing it's not quite worked and you need to do some revisions. That's why you should never try the costume on first time at the con itself, because if you suddenly work out that thing's loose or you need to tighten that corset up or something, you're gonna have that at the con with no way of fixing it, and you're going to look back on all the pictures and go, oh, I hate it. I really hate it. Gojo's big dream to become a great doll maker. I think he is off to a good start, because he's basically making a bigger version of a doll on a larger scale, but I do hope he gets to do a bit of what he loves. I hope he gets to spend some time on actually making dolls. We haven't seen him make dolls quite recently because he's focused on the cosplay projects. If this relationship's going to be balanced, he needs to have some time to do what he wants to do. I like the real moment with them both being honest, having those happy smiles, and the two just having an open moment, crying to one another. That's great. You're showing a very vulnerable side to the other person. If you can't be honest with somebody, if you're scared of showing a emotion in front of them, I generally don't think that's a good thing. I think it's a bit of a red flag. Green flag, if you can just be honest, if you're not afraid to cry in front of someone, if you're happy around them and you don't want to hide anything, I think that's a very good, happy green flag. Happy green flags are good. Red flags are bad. The transformation sequence, it's just nostalgia and also just sadness for me because I haven't been to a con in 3 years. Spoiler alert, I've been asked to guest at a very big event in the UK in April. If you're in the UK, you can probably guess what that might be. I'm very excited. It's going to be my first guesting event in a very long time. I've got a lot of things planned, and I guess it's my turn to finally become the characters that I've got a few laying around. I need to get my butt moving though. I need to get moving now, but that's still giving myself at least 4 months as opposed to 2 weeks. Wig nets, and if you want to hide your eyebrows, you don't actually have to shave them off. You can use PVA glue sticks, the ones you get in school. You just flatten them down enough, then use makeup, or you can even, once you've got it properly flattened down, make sure there's a lot of glue involved, you can use a tiny weeny bit of latex. You don't necessarily have to. You end up losing your eyebrows completely, then you can put them back on. I have to do Uriko-sama from London Sea. Love him to pieces, and he's only got half eyebrows, so I have to erase half my eyebrows, and that's how I generally do it as well. I'm really hyped, guys. I can't wait to actually bring that one to the surface because that hasn't debuted yet. The end reveal is absolutely perfect. It makes me feel absolutely bad for having no completed projects so far. Gotta get my butt moving, as I've said, but it's the magic of transforming into somebody else, transforming into a character that you absolutely love. I love it. It's perfect. Her reaction is absolutely perfect. I'm very, very happy. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes because I think we're about to go to a con, and oh my god, I haven't been to a con in 3 years. I need this anime to give me a con release. This is it. We're going to con next week because I think the title is like, this is the best boo bag around, and definitely going to see some other Shizukas and we're going to see other cosplayers of different levels. I can't wait. Next week is my week. I am really hyped. I can't wait to see how it goes. Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. Hopefully I haven't rambled too much. These videos are slightly different from the other breakdowns because I do interject aspects of my life, snippets from my experiences into these ones. So just because it feels relevant, my experiences as a cosplay feels really relevant to this anime all about cosplay. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Make sure you're looking after yourselves and getting good sleep, and do not con crunch yourself. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.